What we are doing today is something that's going to be quite difficult. We're going to do high key lighting. Now the point of high key lighting is to have an environment that is bright, maybe sunny, inviting, right? High key lighting we sometimes think of as sitcom lighting, right? And that's understandable. That's actually where the whole concept of high key came from, where you basically have multiple cameras and you put a bunch of lights in the ceiling and you just pump light in every direction, so no matter where your camera is looking from, everything is completely lit. We don't work that way. But we do want to see if we can take what is an incredibly ugly, unattractive room, right? And see if we can make it feel sunny and warm and bright and inviting. In doing this, and I would like to ask, let's see if we can get everybody. So I'm just seeing these two people for now. Okay, how we're going to accomplish this. We're going to do something, and I'm going to demonstrate, I'm going to pull you back just a little bit. We're going to demonstrate something else as we're doing this as well, which is cross-keying. What this means is, I've got two subjects in the shot now. I need a key light for each, right? I want the key light for Benny to act as the backlight for Hayden, and the key light for Hayden to act as the backlight for Benny. So what I've got is two lights, and they're performing four functions. One of the things we want to try to suggest is sunlight. Okay, so right now, I have got a window in the shot. I want to see if I can play that window as if it's outside and sunlight is streaming in. Actually, before we do that, let's start by setting Hayden's key light. And we're going to do something a little bit different. Now, to do Hayden's key light, I'm going to need at least one C-stand over here. And we used all the C-stands we had set up already. I'm going to need at least one, maybe two C-stands over here. So let's get those. Kai, would you go into my kit and find the unbleached muslin? I'm sorry. So it's going to be fabric. It's going to have a slightly sort of warmer, browner tint.
Okay.
So Roger Deakins does a thing that is called a cove. It is a reflected light. The material that he uses for the cove is this. It's unbleached muslin. He uses this material because it has a slightly warmer color, being brown. What we're going to do, now what Roger Deakins would probably do is create a sort of semicircle of this cloth all the way around. We're going to create just a small swath, and we're going to bounce the light off of it. So we're going to be creating a warm and also a relatively large light source that will be a nice soft source for Hayden. So we want to look at the shot. We want to get this behind. Now remember, one of the things I'm saying is it's usually more interesting or effective, or at least I like it better if you do short-sighted lighting. That means we're going to be keying on the far side of both of their faces, not on the close side. Okay? What we have to do is set this up so it's not in the shot. So we need to sweep this out again. That light's going to have to go in front of this eventually. So let's just completely unplug it and just kind of slide it over here. All right. I'm going to move this back. We're going to have to leave room for both this and the light. Can we just sweep that out of here as best we can? Perfect. You may be stuck. That's fine. All right. We're going to go up with this. All right. We want to bring this light around, plug it in, tuck it in to where we hopefully don't have it in the shot. Angled up. Okay. I think I can still see the C-stands. You have to go a little bit. Okay, that's good. So let's get that powered up. Strike it.
So this is supposed to look like a kind of like a sunlight.
Hopefully it'll be a nice warm light. We're going to see if we've got enough or we have to add more light to it. All right, let's kill the overheads, please. I'm going to also need the light meter. And I can already tell we're going to need a little more light. Do we have batteries in this? We do. So let's bring this over. Oh, turn it up all the way. Thank you. Good grief. Okay, much better. All right. 800, 160 for the second. All right, so let's see what we're getting on Hayden. We're getting a 1.6. And we're able to actually see. So to have the proper exposure on Hayden, we have to go to about there. So we're going to see if we can live with this. We're wide open, so we've kind of got no leeway at all. But it looks nice, right? I mean, you can see a little bit. It's a nice soft light. The light comes rolling across his face, right? It's very pleasing and attractive. Let's do something different for Benny. All right. We can also see that it's acting as a backlight for Benny. Now, we do have a lot of light on this wall. Light out, but we'll see when we get everything else set up. All right. So now we want to set up Benny's key light. What we're going to do is put Benny's outside the window and have the light coming into the window to hopefully simulate sunlight. That's going to brighten up these Venetian blinds. It's going to create a problem that we're going to have to figure out how to fix. We're also going to be seeing, as we're seeing now, this wall out there. We don't want to see that wall. How many C-stands do we have left? We've got one. One may be enough. Okay. Oh, we got two. Okay. And I need some people to come help me walk this outside.
Ice.
Okay. That's giving us a 2.5. So Benny is a little bit brighter, but not. It's like a half a stop. So I think that's reasonable for us to begin to work with. Now, you can see we've got one light that's being Hayden's key light and is being Benny's backlight. We've got one light that is being Benny's key light and Hayden's backlight. Look at each other for a second if you don't mind, guys, so I can take a look. Okay. Let's take this light down to 90%. See if we can balance these out just a little bit. That's feeling a little better now. But notice how much warmer this light is on Hayden than that light is on Benny. Now we've got our color temperature set to match the lights. That light's being warmed up because of what it's reflecting off of, right? We'll deal with the warmth of this in just a couple of minutes. Now, the next thing I want to deal with is this doesn't look like it's outside. All right? Kai, I think you just had it. Will you grab the shower curtain? The shower curtain.
Shower curtain, okay.
Okay. And let's get a C-stand set up out there with the light.
I might do it again. Oh wow, you were right. I can't even make that happen. That's true.
I'll tell Kai, and Kai can tell you.
It's
Okay. Now what we've got, would you tell them it needs to go up? Like,
Do you want to go up?
yeah, just it needs to go straight up about a foot.
The light or shower curtain?
The shower curtain.
Okay, can you raise the shower curtain up a foot? A foot.
Good, you're there.
That's good. That's good.
What we've done is we've now turned this into something that looks like it's being basically blown out by sunlight, right? It's a little too blue right now. We're going to have to deal with that in a minute. And if we want to, we can see if we can close these enough to get, I can't quite see it. Are we getting any definition of the lines now? Okay. Now what that obviously is going to do is take some light off Benny. So let's see where he is now. Still about the same. Okay. One of the things I know we need to do is the C-stand needs to walk very slowly this way down the wall until I tell you to stop.
That took too much.
Yeah. Walk the marker that way,
Yes, this way.
that way, until he tells you to stop.
Stop. Right, that gets the light back on Benny's face. We were missing it off of Benny's face, but it doesn't do anything to what we were doing over here. When I sat here and looked, I could see that the shower curtain was between us and Benny. All right, so Benny is at 2.2.
Should I take off my glasses?
No.
Alright.
Hayden is at 1. So let's bring Hayden's back up to 100 where we had it. Actually, no, leave it where it is. Leave it where it is. Okay. The only thing I'm not digging about Benny is okay. I need the light to walk this way.
Get the light.
Actually, let me see it. Maybe we can't do that. Hold on.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, keep going. Okay.
Yeah. Come this way. Come closer.
And stop. We still getting it on Hayden? Can you back it up just like maybe 6 inches?
The light.
Yeah, the way it was.
Just
That
a
way,
little.
about 6 inches.
Good, right there. Okay, that should give us just a little more light on Benny. Benny, will you look at Hayden for me? Yes, now we've got a little more light there. Okay. It's still nowhere near as warm or as bright as Hayden is. We're at 100 on that, right?
Yeah.
Let's take this one back down to like 80. Okay. And I'm wide open.
It's easier to not be.
Okay. I want to take the 300 and walk it straight towards Benny.
Okay.
So I'm moving it closer so I get a little more intensity on Benny. And I'm going to move it until it gets into the shot.
Is that good?
Let's see. Yes.
Let's go.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't do anything about the face.
All right, so that gives us a little more intensity on Benny, and we're going to be bringing light levels up all across the board here. So that's both of our keys and our backlights in place. Now, one of the things you will notice is I'm getting a little more light on Hayden because that light is further in. If I had a lot more lights, I'd be tempted to bring the 300 in here and have another light out there lighting that, but I don't have another light to do that with, so we're going to leave it kind of as it is for now and see how we go. Now, with high key lighting, we want it to be relatively low contrast, which means, do we have batteries on this one, or do we need to plug it in? Let's bring it over here and let's bring it down kind of to the level of the camera. And let's point it at Benny and Hayden. What percentage are we on? Obviously, this is probably a little too bright. So let's, first of all, while we've got it that bright, let's be sure we're kind of centered. Can you pan it to the right a little bit, or is it too loose? Other way, other right.
Yeah.
Right, so we want, if you look up, yeah, that's good. We want to hit both of them equally. All right. Let's, what's it on, 100?
I don't have like a meter to tell me or anything.
There is.
Or, oh wait, there is one right here.
Yeah.
That, like 40.
All right, let's take it down to 30. 20. Okay.
This is 15.
All right. All right, will you take it back up to, let's try 40 again? Okay, do we have one C-stand left?
It's on that side.
Yeah. It's over there.
Over there? Can we bring that over here? Can we set it up so that this flag sits right in here? Actually, right out here.
Do you like the light's position?
The light's good. Actually, the light can just go back a little bit and go kind of behind the camera a little bit. That'll help this too. Oh, right there, that's good.
More sandbags.
Okay. So what we want to do is try to bring up, and we've already done it to a large extent, we want to bring up the contrast. So we're going to brighten up the fill side. But we want to do it evenly and do it in a way that doesn't necessarily create all of this light back here. So actually I'm going to change my mind. I want that light to go up.
And is it okay to have it bouncing off the monitor and the back?
I don't think it hurts anything in our case.
Should I push it out?
We'll just lock that.
Will it not stay?
No, I just realized my order of operations is
Okay.
wrong. I'd rather not.
Good job. All right, let's fire that light up.
Striking.
Okay, let's see what kind of a contrast ratio we're looking at here. So right now, our fill light is brighter than our key light, and we don't want that. So let's take it down. Where are we now on percentage?
40%.
Take it down. Take it down to 20. Let me look at 20 for a minute. All right, that's making more sense now. That's 2.0. That's 1.8. So those are basically the same.
I meant to know what I definitely knew what I was talking about whenever I said that.
And this is 1.1. So our fill light, you can see it a little clearer on Hayden, but you can see it on Benny too. Our fill light's about one stop lower than our key. We're on 30?
30.
Let's try 35.
20.
20. Let's try 25. Let's just bring it up just a tad.
25?
Yeah. Try 30 for me.
30?
Yeah. Why is this not changing? That's weird. There we go, now it changed. Okay. 35.
35?
Yeah. Okay, now we're starting to get a fairly reasonable high key sort of contrast ratio there. I can live with that for now. Okay. Now, I'm not minding a hot spot back here, but I am minding that I've got a little bit of a shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Being caused by that, so we're just going to spin that a little bit. Now, we've got the other 120D. All of this in the background is just feeling very kind of flat, right? And especially the floor and the wall, they seem kind of brighter than our subjects are, which is something we don't necessarily want. Let me get the 120D pretty much where it is. For the time being, let's point it at the wall and just turn it on. And let me play with this a little bit. Kai, would you mind coming in and getting the color back on that monitor for me?
So, are we trying to get good lighting or mimic being like having sunlight coming through the
Both.
windows?
We'd like to do both.
Okay.
Angle it down towards the floor. And let's get some more.
There's a nuke going on.
Okay, let's take it off the wall. And let's just leave it on the floor. Now this we may have to Hollywood this, which would be me hand holding it, but let me have the Venetian line, not that one, but mine. Hollywood means you just hold it instead of putting it on the stand. Down with it. I don't want it on the wall, I just want it on the floor. So keep going down, hold it up a little bit. So let's just kind of try to hold it right there in place for the time being. We've got a lot of the light off of the wall, but not a lot. It's still pretty damn bright. Let's try. So we're getting a little bit of sense of sunlight coming in here, a little bit of sense of sunlight coming in there. Hey Kai, can we get one more C-stand?
It feels like we're in a totally different room now.
Well, that's the goal.
It's because
Right.
I'm here.
Right, that's the goal. Now, one of the things is we've got some nice warm light on Hayden, but the rest of our light is still pretty white. So I would say we want to go in and we want to warm this up. Let's take it back to 8,000, which is what we did in our interview setup. Okay. Might be a little much.
Sunset.
Yeah, let's split the difference. The only other thing I think I want to do is let's go 5% more up on the fill light.
40?
Like I say, I'm not going to say this is great. And I wish all the monitors were on because it gives it a nice sort of feeling. Okay, we took that up, right? A little bit. Okay, that's feeling a little bit better. Now again, would I shoot this? I'd probably wait. I'd probably work on it some more. I'd try to control it. I'd probably cover the ceiling with black felt so that I wouldn't have any bounce up there. And I would love all the monitors to be on because it just kind of breaks up the background.
So
Yes, go ahead.
you didn't like the shadow?
I didn't. Because I didn't understand what would be causing that shadow.
To me, it kind of looked like the sun was coming in through a window.
You liked it?
I want to see it again.
All right.
No, it's not square enough.
I see what you're saying though. It is kind of, we could do that with a flag. No, we couldn't because we wouldn't get a shadow like that.
Like the corner of the room isn't getting lit by the sun.
Yeah. I like what you're getting at. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but I think we're in the ballpark, and I like that idea. I would like that light tilted down just a little bit. I'm not crazy about this or either the barn door, one or the other. I think tilting's better. That's good. Let's leave it there. And then let's get this so it's working a little bit better. Okay, so we got a little something down here. I think I still want to... make that a little more distinct. Okay.
He's lifting.
So again, for one thing, I don't like the room. Right. I wish I'd like more things on the wall. I'd like maybe monitors on. I kind of like how bright the monitors are, but I would probably opt to turn the brightness down a little bit so they weren't burning in quite as well.
It's like simple solution, just
Yeah.
change rooms.
Yeah. Yeah, a better room would be. But look, if you want to do high key lighting in the kitchen is just a great place to do high key lighting. But we've got key lights, we've got fill lights, we've got backlights, we've got the set kind of broken up. There's some bright areas, like you say, sun coming in maybe a couple of windows. We've got a little bit of a, it doesn't quite make sense from the direction of the sun, but I think we can buy that this is down here. I think it feels pretty warm and inviting. If there's anything I'm not happy with, it's that Benny is darker than I wished he were. Can that light come towards Benny? Well, if it comes hold on.
Sorry, it's my Italian skin.
What's your skin? Yeah. Your dark skin.
Armor actually looks like a cigarette.
Now that looks like a sun, definitely.
Arm like if you
Okay.
Looks like the sun.
Yes, right? It's also going to allow me to brighten up Benny. Did we move that light closer yet?
No.
He already looks brighter. He's getting a lot of that light, for one thing. He's getting too much of that
The
light.
monitor is like,
Hold on. So I'm taking this off Benny, because I want that to be working on Benny. So as close as we can get that towards Benny and angle towards him. Let's keep coming forward till we kind of can't go any further forward. All right, let's leave it there. And that's at 100, right? On Benny. And it is... Look at each other for me for a second. You know, if I had the time and the energy to do this, I would take the blinds down and lower them so that the light was coming above the blinds and then the blinds would be in shot, but that's more work than we can do. So the only thing I'm missing that I wish I had is I wish I had more of kind of a rim around here. And whenever Hayden looks at us, that's way too much light on his face. But we don't have a backlight on him. All right, you're looking at each other. We got nice backlight on Hayden's hair. A little bit more on Benny. They're nicely separated from the background. I mean, I'm kind of okay with it. I'm not crazy about it. You asked about how you light things so they don't look like student films, right? I wouldn't do this, right? Now, I'm dealing with this room,
Right.
and I'm trying to make this room look bright and warm and inviting with all the limitations that this room is giving me. I'd rather be in a kitchen and take one of these lights and put it outside the kitchen window and then let the lights in the kitchen just play. I'd rather do this with one light. And I think this would look better with one light. I can't do that in here. It's one of the reasons I wish we had like a kitchen somewhere in the building, just a nice domestic kitchen. But the ideas we're applying here are reasonably solid, right? We are trying to bring light in, make it look like it's coming from the outside, which is what the sun would do. I'm wide open, right? Sure about that? Yeah. We have warmed everything up. We do have, nice warm light reflecting off here. Another approach to this would be to forget the sunlight and to basically do this on both sides and have nice warm light just kind of flooding both of them and lighting their faces off and forgetting trying to simulate sunlight. That's another way to go about this. Another way to do this is to turn the overhead lights on and just forget all the rest of this. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look bad. So I'm not crazy about this, but I think it does demonstrate some of the properties that we're trying to create. And my biggest problem remains Benny. As is, I guess, not terribly surprising.
That's my
and that's two problems. The camera the light is too far back, whereas Hayden's light is out here. That light's too far back. I don't think there's any way to light up, without another light, to light up the window and also put the key light where it needs to be for Benny. I don't think. Do me a favor, turn the light, the 300D off for a minute.
Can we switch? You want to switch?
No, don't switch. Don't switch on me now. Now we got a nice nighttime scene.
It's the end of the world.
Yeah.
Day in.
It is interesting. It does look weird, right? That does seem wrong. It seems like it's daylight inside and night outside, and that feels kind of wrong. Okay, let's turn it back on.
Or they're like in an abandoned building.
Yeah.
I think
Or they're where we are, which is in a crappy classroom. All right. One of the things I want to do is I want to see what every light is doing. All right. So let's start by turning off the 300. Let's turn off that 120, and let's turn off this amaranth. All right. So let's see what each light is doing. So this light is giving us that wall. It's giving us that shadow that we're playing up as a window. It's giving us a key light on Hayden and a backlight on Ben. All right. Let's turn the 300D on and turn this 120 off.
I like that better for some reason.
Well, I mean, honestly, all of us probably like low-key lighting better than high-key lighting anyway, right? So here's where our problem is. Benny is not bright enough. This is what's happening. So, all right, we have one Amaran left, right?
Yeah, it's over there.
I want an Amaran set up on a stand outside. My God, I'm going to fix this. And I want this light brought inside. So I wanted the Amaran to go at 100% and be pointed straight at the
Sharper.
the sharker. Or maybe like right here, kind of even with.
Just like normal. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It is interesting, things look really cool when you start turning lights off, don't they? All right, can we tilt that light up or either raise it up? Let's raise it up a little bit, the Amaran. Let's raise it up. Hold it right there. Okay, now, Benny, would you look at Hayden for me? Now you see we've got a much more consistent kind of, let's turn the 300 back on.
Striking.
We've got a much more consistent light now going on to Benny compared to what we had on Hayden. Let's see what we're... Will you turn that light back on for me? Let's take that down to 80. Is that where we are now?
You said 80.
Yeah.
Most of the 120s don't have the temperature. Or the 300D.
Is that the X or the D?
This is the D. Or X.
Do we take it down to 80?
Yeah.
Take it down to 70.
That's 70.
Okay, now they're feeling a little more even. Now one of the things we need to do is get barn doors on that so we can take all of that light off this wall.
No? Oh. Then we'll need to get one out of the 120D.
Let's kill this 120 again for me so we're just looking at the one light. Can somebody get in here and get barn doors out? We have another pair in there?
Yeah, they'll fit the same.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, we hit the cookie. We hit the cookie.
What cookie? Poor cookie.
We can also pan it over more towards Benny. They'll take some of it off the wall too. We may not even need the barn doors if we do that. Let's point it straight towards him. No, we still need the barn doors. That's too, well, we would call that too sourcey. In other words, it's kind of drawing attention to where the light's coming from.
Like an interrogation.
Yeah. I think it is interesting that things get, the more lights you turn off, the better things start to look. Right?
And it's like we've changed the story
Yeah, exactly.
this whole time.
Exactly.
But they've stayed.
Okay, that's good for Benny. Let's get Hayden's key back on. Actually no, wait 1 second. Let's turn the 300D off.
Saving.
And let's turn the fill light on so we can see what the fill light's doing.
I like this.
Striking.
I do too. Almost all the monitors are on now. Okay, so this is what the fill light's doing. It's just getting a kind of flat, it's just bringing the general level of the shadows up. Let's turn that off and turn that one on.
Saving.
Okay? And I think let's, hold on. I don't know if we need to tilt it down or we need to. So all that's really giving us is a little bit of illumination on the wall and this kind of source shadow down here. All right, let's get them all back on.
Striking.
Striking. Striking.
Okay, we're no longer hitting Benny with that light, so the top barn door needs to come up. There we go. Now we're hitting him. Okay, I'm still feeling a lot of hot coming off of this over here, and we've got enough light now that we can stop down just a little bit to about there. So that's a 2.2. Okay, I've done something to screw this up. Hold on. Still screwed up. How am I losing it? Oh, I see. Handed too much. And now I got the chair in the way. It's always something. There we go. Yeah, now we've got that back. All right. Back where it was. Boy, that looks like crap. What in the world happened to our... Looks fine when I'm standing over here. Okay. Can we see if we can bring the bottom barn door up? What I'm getting is a lot of spill from that, and that's wiping out our shadow. Hold on a second. Benny, is that light still on you? This one, the one I'm at. Is it still? Are you still seeing the light? No, don't look. Look at the light. Look at the light. Is it? Are you seeing the light? Is it pointing?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some light. I see lights.
All right.
I'm still seeing light.
Okay. This is the other thing that happens, and I'm in a round robin, which is what I always hate. I fix one light and it causes another problem. When I try to fix that, it causes another problem. When I try to fix that, it causes another problem, which is what happens when you use too many lights, which is what we're doing. So here's a lesson in what not to do, right?
Use too many lights?
Yes. Sorry, I can't see the monitor from over here, so I can't tell what I'm... Okay. Now I'm feeling better about it. Let's bring Benny's light up. Hold on. Yeah, let's bring, where are we on? Like that 70?
Yeah.
Take it to 80. Take it to 90. Take it to 100. Okay.
Yeah, that's 100.
Let's bring the, I'm sorry, I keep playing with this. Let's bring the key light down, the fill light down, I'm sorry. Just keep going down till I say. Hayden, will you look at Benny for me for a second? Keep going. Turn it off for me for a second. Ah, okay. I don't know that we need it. Let's turn it back on, but take it way down. What are we on now?
10.
Okay, that's as low as it goes. All right, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Hopefully this was instructive. But let me ask you guys this. All right, let's do this one more time, because I think what's interesting is by turning off lights, we take something that's high key and we make it low key. And I think a lot of you are really reacting strongly to the drama that we get from the low key. What's Benny's light on again?
100.
We're at 100 on him? Okay. Let's turn, all right, let's start by turning off the fill.
Saving.
So immediately we're going to move slightly towards lower key lighting because we're increasing the shadows, the darkness of the shadows, or decreasing the brightness of the shadow. Let's kill Benny's key light. You guys figure out what that is? Which one's Benny's key? Yeah, it's the one that's pointed at Benny's face. There we go. Let's kill Hayden's key light. It's getting kind of interesting. All right, let's try Benny's key light back on real quick.
Striking.
All right, let's turn everything back on. We have got about 10 minutes before we have to pack up, or a little less than that, maybe 5 minutes, Kai, would you say?
It's the same time as the pack up, yeah.
Okay. What would you guys want to do to change it? I gotta admit to you, I would never light something this way, but I would never shoot anything in this room. I think one of the advantages of being in this room is how crappy the room is and how much we have to work around. Anybody?
Would you get mad if I shot my final short film in this room?
No. Look, here's the deal. What works best in this room are those lights. And the reason is this room feels like those lights. It doesn't feel like this light. Right? If you're going to shoot something in this room, you're going to want it to feel a certain way, and more than likely the way you want it to feel is the way it looks when it's lit by fluorescent lights. Turn the fluorescent lights on. Now I have had people shoot in this room. Let's do this. Let's kill all of our lights.
Saving.
Okay. Now, it does feel warm because we've got it warmed up. Let's take it to where it ought to be for fluorescent light, which is usually, God, I cannot see a thing, usually around 4,000. See what that does for us.
What about those lights?
Yeah, I'm going to do that in a second. So if you're shooting in a room that looks like this, you're shooting a cinder blocks with basically no windows, it kind of makes sense that it looks like that, right? It can also make sense that it looks like this. So turn on the recessed lights, which are the two sliders. That's one set. There's the other set. Now turn off the fluorescents. Actually, stand up for a second. All right, sit down right here. And Hayden, get opposite him.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Buddy?
Now again, I wouldn't call this high key, I wouldn't call this inviting, I wouldn't call this warm. It doesn't look wrong for this room. Right? So instead of the sort of flood of fluorescence, we've got these very specific. In fact, Hayden, do me a favor. Find let's see. Slide back until you're right under that light, and I'm going to reframe. So you're right under this one. So come back to about here. Yeah. Okay, right there. Somebody was one Godfather lighting, pretty much close to it right now, right? We've basically got people sitting under spotlights. So what you've got is the flood of fluorescence, or you have got the spot of these recessed lights. It's two different moods, but both of these moods feel right for this kind of space. I would argue that our low-key lighting felt right for this kind of space, and that even our interview lighting felt right for this kind of space, but it's very, very, as I said at the beginning, it's very hard. I think we did a valiant job, by we, I guess it's me, in doing the best we could kind of in this room with what little we have. But I would certainly, well, I would really have more fun shooting this than I would have shooting that. Now, one of the things we could have done, we didn't have time to do, but I will say this. If we were doing a scene, we would have to come around. You guys mind going back to where you were? Let me just show this. If we were doing a scene, and we then wanted to go for single, you guys were here, hold on. Oh, hold on, Dane.
Sorry.
You guys are right on this line. Okay, all right. If we were doing a scene, let's turn on the fluorescence just so we can see for a minute. After we did this two shot, we'd want to come over here and either get a single of Hayden or an over-the-shoulder shot of Hayden. Now, when I do that, I am staring straight at Benny's key light. So Benny's key light has to go. If it's an over-the-shoulder shot, I've got to move Benny's key light out of the shot, but I've got to keep the light on Benny because I'll see a little edge of it as I'm seeing over his shoulder, right? So there's a lot of work that would be done here. I'm probably going to have to move the Venetian blind. I might see the pattern on the floor, so I might have to move it and put it somewhere else. And I can reposition Hayden's light. If I want it to be more short-sighted, I can try to move it over here. If I want it more broad-sided, I can slide it over this a little bit, right? I can see more of a sliver of his face in the key light, or I can see a broader swath of his face in the key light. I can move things around. There's not a continuity issue here. They generally say, as long as the key is coming from generally the same direction, you can adjust lights as you go. No one will notice them. Well, let's say we do that with Hayden, and we do that with the over-the-shoulder. Now, our job is to come over here and get a single of Benny and an over-the-shoulder of Benny. And now, I'm looking straight at Hayden's key light. So I've got to get rid of that, but I've got to replace it with something that's out of the frame so we still have that light kind of on the edge of Hayden. What I probably do is just move it over here. Right? Now I've got to put Benny's key light back. So there's all of this sort of maneuvering around when you go into single shots, and as you're doing that maneuvering, you move the lights to make it look better. So if I come around here to get Benny, and I don't like the way the key light is lighting him, I can move the key light. I can bring it in closer, I can take it further away, I can move it more upstage, I can move it more downstage, I can finesse it or tweak it to make it look better. I'm not locked in to that lighting. I'm just locked into being close to that lighting. If you start looking at dialogue scenes, you will notice immediately from the two shot to the close-ups, the lights are just completely different places. Okay. That's all I got.